What is up? Happy Thursday. How y'all doing? I am in Tampa and the weather's pretty nice, but I'm sitting in the car. So something that I've been talking to people a lot about in the last, I don't know, really it's all the time, but especially in the last couple of weeks, okay? This comes from a lot of women I work with, who I talk to, who I network with, and I just have conversations with. They feel like they're doing everything right, but they're super frustrated by the fact that they are not seeing the results they want to see. The scale is not moving the way they want it to. Their clothes are not fitting any better. And then they start to really get discouraged, right? Because it's frustrating, and I get that. You feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to, and like, why the hell am I not seeing results, right? So it's very important that we talk about what to do when that happens, because what you're not going to do is just give up and throw the towel in, because that's really not going to get you any results, okay? So let's just ditch that idea, because that's a lot of times what we do. We get so upset, we get so discouraged that our ego says, well, I'm just going to quit. But really that doesn't make any sense, right? We think about that logically, like, oh, I'm upset I'm not losing weight, so I'm going to stop trying to lose weight. Well, now you're really not going to do it, right? Okay, so let's ditch that idea to begin with. But two, here's the thing, okay? If you feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to and you're not losing weight, something you're doing is not working. Or there's something you should be doing that you're not, okay? And it's not your fault. You don't suck. You're not horrible. You're not in the wrong. You're just missing a piece. Or maybe there's a piece that you're not doing consistently enough, okay? Maybe there's just a piece that needs a little bit of tweaking. But you have to realize, okay, just put the ego aside for a second, that what you're doing is obviously not working, so it's probably time to change what you're doing or what you're not doing, okay? So it's like, Sarah, I work out, I've been eating better, and I'm still not losing weight. Well, okay, are we hitting macros? Are we doing all of our cardio? Are we doing the full workout with, the right amount of rest time and the right amount of intensity and the right amount of efficiency? Right? Are we eating enough meals spaced out at the right time? Are we eating enough protein? Are we eating enough carbs and fats and blah, blah, blah? There's a lot of factors that go into losing weight. So let's break them down and figure out what you're currently doing and what piece is missing so that we can now change that to do something else. Okay? It's very logical, right? Like, let's just break it down. Let's look at it. And when you say that you're doing everything right, like me as a coach, when I talk to you as a client, I want to see, what are you doing? I don't want self-reporting, right? Well, I'm eating really good. I want to see what you're eating, right? Because sometimes we can't eyeball it, especially with eating. It's very hard to eyeball what you're eating unless you have tracked and hit your macros for a certain amount of time, right? So if you're not losing the weight, if you're not seeing the results, it's time to start tracking your food. Let's really figure out what you're currently doing and what needs to change, right? Where is that piece? If you're not writing it down, if you're not tracking what you're doing, you can't identify what piece is missing. Self-reporting doesn't work, okay? Eyeballing it in this case doesn't work. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to figure out exactly what piece is missing. We go down the list, okay? You have more than just exercise and nutrition. Let's look at your stress levels. Let's look at how much water you're drinking, right? We're looking at sleep and recovery, supplements and nutrition, exercise, and I'm missing one. Oh, and water. Did I say that one? I'm losing my mind, y'all. But those are what we need to look at. And then the other thing we really need to look at is consistency. Are you doing these things consistently, right? Are you consistently following your exercise program, your nutrition program? How are your stress levels? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting enough sleep? If you're saying yes to all these things, okay, and you're doing them consistently, it feels like you're doing everything right? Then you just need to be patient and give it time to work. If you have been patient and you've given it time to work and you've been perfectly consistent, maybe something needs a little tweaking. But here's what I'm finding 99% of the time, okay? People who are truly frustrated, that feel like they're doing everything they should be and they're not losing the weight, are not being consistent in one of those categories, okay? That just is what it is, some tough love. It's time to get really self-aware. What piece are you missing? And let's identify it, let's fix it, right? So that's my little spiel for you. I hope this was helpful. If you are feeling frustrated by the fact that you feel like you're doing everything right and you're not losing weight, I want you to consider all of those aspects. Are you doing them at all? Okay? Are you hitting the goals on a consistent basis? Are you being patient and giving it time to work? Okay? If you're not tracking those things, if you're not tracking your sleep, your water, your nutrition, your supplements, your exercise, you can't say if you're hitting it or not. You might be, but you also might not be. So it's time to write it down just for like a week or two and really figure it out. That's the piece that a lot of people are missing. They're not tracking what they're doing. You can tell me that you drink water all day long and then you track it and it's really only like 2 bottles for the whole day when it should be 6. Okay? You're telling me that you're hitting macros, but you're not tracking them, so how do you know? Right? Okay. I love you all very much. Someone you know probably needs to hear this, so feel free to share, feel free to tag. I love you all very much, and I will talk to you soon.